Hello, and welcome to the public open house for interim intersection changes at Farm to Market 685, also known as DeSalle Road, and Pflugerville Parkway, and FM 685 at Coppermine Drive. We appreciate your interest in these projects and participation in this open house. Today, our focus will be on interim changes to the two intersections, but we will also share how they fit into longer-term planning efforts. We'll review the options the project team has considered in their analysis process, the proposed interim changes at each intersection, and the timeline and next steps for the projects. At the end of the meeting, we will review several ways you can provide your input and comments on the projects. The FM 685 corridor study, which is a separate project, and the interim changes at the two FM 685 intersections were both funded by a public vote through the 2020 Pflugerville Transportation Bond. The corridor study report was finalized in early 2023 and is currently progressing through the schematic design and environmental review process. The study established a long-term vision for the corridor and future transportation needs. The interim changes we will discuss in more detail were proposed to address safety and mobility concerns at the intersections until the ultimate improvements can be made. To reduce delays at the FM 685 and Pflugerville Parkway intersection during peak hours, caused by a heavy volume of left turns onto FM 685, the interim changes would remove left turns from the primary intersection and construct two new signalized intersections on Pflugerville Parkway that convert these left turns to U-turns. On FM 685 at Coppermine Drive, the proposed changes will slow traffic turning right onto FM 685 from State Highway 130 and increase the number of through lanes from 2 to 3 from the intersection to Shops Road. The sidewalk will be extended from where it ends in front of Typhoon, Texas, to the existing sidewalk on the State Highway 130 southbound frontage road. A shared use path, which is wider than a sidewalk and meant for use by multiple modes, such as walking, biking, and micromobility, will be constructed from the intersection to the shopping center, and a signalized pedestrian crossing will be added to stop traffic turning right onto FM 685 when pedestrians are crossing. Today, there are two through lanes and a left turn lane at all four legs of the FM 685 and Pflugerville Parkway intersection. A heavy volume of left turns from Pflugerville Parkway onto FM 685 in either direction create significant delay at the intersection during morning and evening peak periods. In addition to increasing travel times, this congestion increases safety risks. Drivers may be more likely to engage in risky behavior, such as not yielding right-of-way when turning left, increasing the risk of T-bone crashes, or more likely to rear-end another vehicle due to frequent starts and stops. Transmission power lines and utilities located near the intersection constrained the options available to improve the intersection. TxDOT also required that the traffic signal timing on FM 685 remain the same. Level of service is a measure used in traffic analysis to assess the quality of vehicle traffic flow and congestion based on a number of factors, including vehicle speed, density, and congestion. Currently, the intersection operates at level of service E and F during morning and evening peak periods. Level of service varies slightly for each leg of the intersection based on varying traffic volumes. The proposed changes are anticipated to improve this level of service to levels A through C. The project team analyzed four options to determine the best interim option to address the safety and mobility concerns at the intersection. Performance criteria used to screen the options included impacts to existing and planned development, including the amount of right-of-way that would need to be acquired, mobility impacts for cars, bicyclists, and pedestrians, environmental and safety impacts, potential congestion relief, the cost to construct and maintain the design, and compatibility with future improvements. The first two options, expanding the intersection and the superstreet design, were determined to have fatal flaws as the limitations of existing bridges would have caused significant safety issues and right-of-way acquisition. While the third option, the continuous flow intersection, would have reduced delay, it would have required more right-of-way acquisition and utility impacts than the selected option. Additionally, the project budget did not allow for the bridge reconstructions that would be needed to accommodate the design. Ultimately, the alternative determined to best meet transportation needs at the intersection was the median U-turn design, which would convert left turns from Pflugerville Parkway onto FM 685 into U-turns a short distance down the road. This design was selected over the continuous flow intersection because it minimizes the right-of-way acquisition and utility impacts required, is compatible with future plans for the FM 685 corridor, better maintains traffic during construction, and can be implemented more quickly. As you can see from the graphic, instead of turning left, traffic on Pflugerville Parkway would proceed straight through the intersection and make a U-turn at a new traffic signal. The signals will only stop one direction of traffic to allow U-turn movements, allowing through traffic in the opposite direction to continue without delay. As shown by the orange arrows, a right turn lane will be added on the west side of Pflugerville Parkway approaching FM 685, and on the east side, the right turn lane will be extended from the U-turn to FM 685. Business driveways along Pflugerville Parkway will become right turn in, right turn out only. A small amount of right-of-way is needed near each of the median U-turns. While this change will require some vehicles to travel longer distances along Pflugerville Parkway, they should experience faster travel times. Schematic design of the interim project, which has currently advanced to the 30% level of detail, began in mid-2021 and resumed in 2023 after a brief hold. Following this open house and completion of schematic design, the project will advance to final engineering and environmental review in mid-2024 and is anticipated to let in 2024 or early 2025. Construction is anticipated to take 1 year. We will now focus on FM 685 at Coppermine Drive. Currently, there are no sidewalks west of the intersection heading towards Stonehill Town Center. Pedestrians from Hendrickson High School frequently cross this intersection, especially at lunchtime. Traffic turning right onto FM 685 from the State Highway 130 frontage road currently travels at a high speed into a right turn only lane. This lane drops after a fairly short distance, which requires vehicles traveling straight and turning right to move in and out of the lane at the same time. This weaving behavior increases safety risks for travelers of all modes. The project team analyzed 3 alternatives to determine the best interim option to address the safety and mobility concerns at the intersection. These options were evaluated against the same performance criteria as those at Pflugerville Parkway. The first option considered constructing roundabouts where FM 685 intersects with the State Highway 130 frontage road in either direction. This option was eliminated because it required more right-of-way than the other options and did not improve mobility when accounting for the increased traffic volumes anticipated in the future. The second option would increase FM 685 from 2 to 3 through lanes from the southbound State Highway 130 frontage road to Shops Road to address the short right turn only lane, and construct sidewalks connecting the intersection with Stonehill Town Center and Typhoon Texas Water Park. The selected option includes both elements from option 2 and additional elements. In addition to expanding through lane capacity, as shown by the orange arrows, and sidewalk connections, as shown in light green, the option determined to best meet transportation needs at this intersection also reduces the angle of the State Highway 130 southbound frontage road right turn lane to slow traffic approaching the intersection. A pedestrian crossing signal will be added to stop that right turn traffic when pedestrians trigger the signal. The additional through lane and now dedicated right turn lanes into Stonehill Town Center will address current mobility challenges in the area. Schematic design of the interim project began in August 2021 and was completed in May 2022. The project is currently in final engineering and environmental review, which are anticipated to complete by May 2024. The project is anticipated to let shortly afterward, with construction from July to December 2024. Additional coordination with affected stakeholders will occur before construction begins. We value your input. The City is available to answer questions throughout the project development process, and comments are welcomed. Comments may be submitted in a number of ways: via the online project survey, email, phone call, or mail at the addresses listed on the screen. Please include the project numbers TR 2009 and TR 2010 when providing your comment. All comments must be received or postmarked by Friday, January 12th, 2024, to be included in the official meeting documentation. Visit the project website at www.pflugervilletx.gov/685x for more information. Thank you for your interest in these projects and our open house. Your participation is appreciated.